evening, everyone. I hope, yes, we are live. Good evening, everybody. Welcome back to EnglishYaari's live session. Once again, we are here for you. Yes, I can see a lot of people here. Hi, Deepthi. Hi, Vaibhav. Speak with Priyanka. Hello. All right, great. So we are right here, and it's super amazing to see all of you here right on time, as our goal is to address all your doubts and help you improve with your spoken English skills. So today we request you all to be just active in the chat support. Whenever there's any doubt, any question, feel free to put down there, and we'll try to give you advice and a lot of suggestion right up there, because our priority is to help you improve your spoken English. Okay. Hi, Gaurav. Hello, everybody. Yes. Okay. So today we are here to discuss really important, and I would say the most chosen one topic, which is corporate communication. And who better than Tutor Moupriya can guide us through this topic in detail? Dear learners, Ms. Moupriya is a certified soft skill trainer and a communication coach with over 5 years of experience. We welcome you in our live session, Ms. Moupriya.
Thank you. Very, very happy to be a part of this session and meet all our learners and also you, Shruti.
Great. Well, our learners are going to ask you a lot of questions, so be ready with all of those.
Absolutely. I'm super excited.
Okay, great. So before we dive in today's topic, let's take a moment, everybody. We want you to quickly like this live session, motivate us. Ms. Mopria is here for the first time. Show that you're always active with us, and she'll be happy too. Am I right?
Absolutely. I'm definitely going to look at those likes. Also, why not
Yes.
share, yeah?
Yes, today we have a lot to share with all of you. It's better you share it with your friends and family members who need it the best. Right? Okay. And the reason we ask you to subscribe is because there are so many new features and new updates that we are going to bring you right away. I'm going to disclose it one after the other. So just subscribe it now so that you never miss any update whenever we go live. Okay, we can see so many highs.
Yes.
Okay, hello, good morning, good evening. Okay, the person said good morning. All right. English with Moin says, I would like to take a session. Okay, all right, we are ready to have a session with you. Perfect. So, here is a quick announcement before we delve into and ask you a lot of questions, Ms. Mopria. Here is a quick announcement to all of the learners who are watching this live. As we always do, we always give a lot of sessions to them. So whosoever will be there and show full enthusiasm in the chat box, would answer the questions probably that we may have for them, will get 3 free sessions from English Yaari team.
Wow. That sounds pretty interesting.
Yes, all they have to do is just be all ears. Meanwhile, when we'll ask questions to them, if they are able to answer, if they try to answer, so we'll appreciate them with a small goodie.
That's amazing. And I'm sure they're going to be very enthusiastic in doing that.
They always do it, but today you have to be super excited again, dear learners. And here comes a really exciting news, which I would like to share, and let's see how you react to it. At English Yaari, as we always have the motive to make you fluent, to help you achieve all the dreams that you have with your communication, we are going to offer you 5-day free vocabulary booster course, which is going to be live on YouTube, and it's going to be start by 31st of March. So it's going to be possible because of their love. I'll tell you, Ms. Mopria, today when you'll have a discussion, you'll get to know something more about our learners.
I am
Let's
sure
see.
and I'm looking forward to it.
Okay, perfect. As we are here with you, and you being a part of an organization where you already have taught a lot of corporate communication skills to other people, on my learners' behalf, I would like to ask you that what actually corporate communication means and why is it so essential for us?
That's a very nice question, Shruti. And that takes me back to the start of my career, which is before the 5 years that I have been in training. Even before that, I have a total of 11 years of corporate experience, and that used to be pretty interesting when I started as a fresher because the moment I stepped into my first organization, which used to be Barclays back in 2009, um, I saw a very different world around me. Okay, fresh out of college, I joined Barclays, and I could see people talking in a very different language. I mean, everybody seemed so sophisticated, and they would talk as if they are very formal, and that was very new to me to initially start. And then I started thinking, why is it that people are not talking like normal people? Like, we don't talk like this with our friends, family, or the people we go to college, right? So that's
Yes.
when it was the first time when it intrigued me a lot. And then, of course, as we are having trainings here, even corporates, they have their own training sessions, right? And that was the first time when I got into a voice and accent training session where the trainer tried and explained the reason for adapting the professional or the corporate communication while at workplace. Now, the very
Okay.
essence that I have understood over these few years, the very essence of corporate communication lies in three things, okay? Primarily three things. Number one, clarity in your communication, which
True.
means it needs to be very clear. If you are interacting with your colleague, your leaders, your team members, your vendors, your customers, or your clients, or anybody for that matter, your communication needs to be very clear, right?
Yes.
Again, it needs to have respect for others, because you can be great at what you are doing, you can be very good with your skills, but if you do not portray that respect to the other person, people will not like to work with you, they will not like to listen to you. So there has to be respect in how you communicate. And lastly, there has to be effectiveness, which means when
Wow.
you are communicating with someone, it should bring out the results that you are looking for. And because of that, we shed our local or our usual ways of communication when we step inside that office or when we get onto that video call, and we try and communicate in a manner that is going to be pleasing and effective. That is the entire essence that I have understood in the last few years. Okay. Now, you asked what are the benefits or why is it needed. Now, what I feel is it is very essential for people to communicate in a professional manner because, number one, it fosters a lot of understanding in your workplace, right? Because at
Absolutely.
workplace, there are different kinds of people from different backgrounds. They come from different workplaces as well, which has different cultures, right? So if you are professionally communicating with people, that fosters a lot of understanding amongst the employees who are working, right? Because of that, the collaboration within people becomes better, right? So if you look at it, for me, it's like a reactive circle, right?
Yeah.
So there is understanding which enhances the collaboration amongst people. And of course, that creates that trust within employees. It can be within colleagues as well, or it can be within the management and the employees as well. Better communication or proficient communication builds up a better sense of collaboration and trust, right? And when that
Definitely.
happens, that automatically reflects on your clients or your customers. Because if there is solidarity amongst the organization, it will show towards the clients and the other stakeholders, right? So when that happens, it leads to successful outcomes in different genres of the organization, and that helps in positive overall a very positive work environment. So this is what I have noticed and I have understood in the last few years. And just to quickly, sum up this question, I would say, even if you don't think about any of these vast equations, the one thing that everybody agrees is whenever we are at work or we are at any place, right? The one thing that we all are very, very conscious of is to build the correct image about ourselves in front of others,
Very important.
right?
Yes.
So that is another very important driving factor in, you know, exercising the professional or corporate communication that we all are talking about today.
Okay, wow. Beautifully answered, I would say. This reminded me of the fact the moment I joined the corporate organizations, you find people having a lot of sophisticated words up on their tongue. And being a rookie, you'll
Absolutely.
feel, what am I doing? Do I really belong to this world? What are they talking about? They want to say a simple thing, yet they would complicate it by using a typical vocabulary. And as you mentioned, the reason we have a different conversation when it comes to corporate communication is because we want to have an image that, hey, I am not the same person when I go home. At work, you have to have a different personality, and that too in a polite way you express. I want to know from you, when it comes to corporate communication, there are some of the fancy words, or I would say some common words that everyone must know. So, would you like to share some of the vocabulary words with our learners so that at least they
Absolutely.
are ready?
Yes, yes, I would love to do that. And this is very interesting, okay? So let me tell you a few of those, okay? Now,
Okay.
in simple words, like maybe when we are with friends or when we are, talking to our own people, right? We would say, hey, Shruti, I want to ask a question, right? That's very normal.
Yes.
I don't see anything wrong with that, right? But soon as you are in an office meeting, you would change it, to suit everybody. You would change it to, I want to inquire about one topic or one subject. So your ask changes to inquire, right?
Yes.
Or if I have to say, Shruti, can you book the meeting room for me today? We would not want to say book the meeting room. You would say, Shruti, can you reserve a meeting room for today at 6 o'clock? So book
Yeah.
changes to reserve,
Reserve.
right? Then there is a very common word that we all use from time to time because we all do a lot of mistakes here and there. And when we were in school or college, we would very simply say, I'm sorry, ma'am. But
Yeah.
when you get into office, you change it to, I apologize for my error. I would fix it. So your sorry, the simple sorry words changes to apologize, right?
Yeah.
And then suppose I want to say that, Shruti, can you help me check this file once before I submit it? But it's not nice to say check. We would probably say, Shruti, let us verify the details once before I submit the file. So our check changes to verify,
Verify.
right? So these are some of the words that, are very commonly used, but then we change them, or we use an advanced version of those words when we are at our workplace, right? If you would want.
Even now, when you commit an error, this is just in you. That, hey, I'm sorry. The moment you
Yeah.
hit a wrong rod, you're sorry. So then changing these habits require practice, right?
Yes,
How did you learn?
absolutely. Well, the best part was I was always into customer facing roles, right? So that came to me very easy, to be very honest, because you have the clock ticking in your mind that, okay, this is going to be quality evaluated, right? So then it automatically gets into your system that, okay, no, I'm not at home or I'm not in college, so I have to change the way I'm speaking. So it was not a very difficult transition for me, but yes, of course, initially when you're fresh out of college, it takes a little time, but it was adaptable because I was practicing it every day. So that is one thing that I always keep telling my learners, that if you do not have that regular practice of speaking or communicating in English, then get yourself into that habit, because that is what builds up, this momentum.
Uh-huh. Very important point. Else it happens you keep on doing the same things. If you want to see a difference in yourself, then do something different, right?
Right, right.
Okay. Coming on to our learners, I would like to say whenever we come live, the motive is to address a lot of doubts you may have. So it's time for you to ask your question. Okay. People are writing it. What you have just taught. Speak with Priyanka says inquire. Then
Wow.
the other person says start changes to initiate. Hmm. Are they right?
Let me just go through them. Yes, yes, this seems to be quite interesting, and I like these words that they are coming up with.
Yeah, movie five, if I'm saying it right, says give changes into provide. Yeah. Would you
Yes,
like to provide details?
that's true. Cartoon page says acquire. Yes, that's a very good term that is used. Acquire.
Mhm. Yes. Secondly, how about affirmative sentences? Even if when you do not agree with your team members or you have another take on it, when it comes to communication, especially at corporate world, you cannot say it directly, right? You
Right.
have to
Yeah.
make sure that you sugarcoat it up or maybe say it with different words. That's when vocabulary comes into picture, isn't
Right.
it?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Okay, here we have a question. Prashant says how to manifest this sentence in day-to-day's life. Yeah, he's saying, let's suppose to you it comes easy because you had a job role where you had to do it. There was no other way around. But there are some learners. They want to enter in corporate world, yet do not have anyone to practice. How can they start their journey of learning corporate communication?
Absolutely. That's why I said that, I always keep telling my learners that if you do not have anybody to practice it with, find out avenues like English Yari, for example, the learners who come here, they have that, avenue to go ahead and practice with someone every day. Also, one thing that I have noticed, often people say that I practice with other learners or I practice with co-workers who are also trying to learn the language, right? It's a great way to do it. However, one thing that I always keep telling my learners is that you can do that when once you know that you are already good with your language and your grammar, and you just want to be in practice. But when you are
Yeah.
trying to build that skill, you need feedback, and somebody who is already learning can't give you feedback, right? So it's important to take that little help at that time. So this is one thing that is very common, and I often keep discussing it with all my learners. So yes, if you do not have a role where you are speaking regularly with clients or with your colleagues in English, which is very normal, like in India, I think hardly there will be any organization where with your colleagues you will speak in English, unless they are from some other ethnicity, or they speak some other language and you only have a common language, that is English. But still, I feel nowadays Hindi is the most common language that is used, right?
Yes, definitely. I think
Yes.
Speak with Priyanka says absolutely to what you said. She said feedback is really important when you are learning with a leader, or maybe when you're learning with someone who already has this knowledge, so they can for
Right.
sure rectify your mistakes. Being teacher, you can tell, hey, you're going wrong at this step. Otherwise, you'll keep on doing. The moment you said that you should
Right.
not always practice with your coworkers, this definitely rings a bell. I had a person when I was working earlier, and the person used to say abrupt. Okay. Now
Hmm.
I developed this habit of saying abrupt all the time, and when I actually heard myself, it's not abrupt, Shruti. Right? So you
Right.
may pick
Right.
up something wrong. You have the
Correct.
intention of learning something good, but it may
Yes.
bring you upside down. So it's better you take precautions before you dive into this role, isn't
Right.
it?
Right. Absolutely.
Okay.
I see
Yes.
Manmohan has a question, Shruti. How does corporate communication differ across various industries or sectors?
Good
Would you want to
question.
throw some light on that?
Sure. Well, when it comes to corporate communication, there are some things which would work always. Let's suppose the kind of words Miss Moupriya just shared. Be it any meeting, be it any workplace, irrespective of your, the place where you're coming from, your industry, you have to use these, right? However,
Yes.
if you are going for specific industry, there are some jargons that you must be aware of. if it's a tech organization, if you are going into ed techs, then if you're going into completely niche, which is focused towards the other services. So we need to be ready with that market, right? When it
True.
comes to edtech, there are some of the typical jargons that are used. Whereas for maybe another organization which is completely service based, there would be something else. So understand, but the basics never change. What do you say?
I agree with that. Like the internal communication words, they do not change, but the things that Shruti ma'am told, that the jargons of the industry, they keep changing. So that you will adapt when you get into that industry, or when you are trying to prepare for that industry, when you are preparing for the interview part of it, then you can try and adapt those words.
Of course. And here we have a question. Mukul says, what about reading? Do you think reading helps?
Pretty interesting. Reading helps. I would say reading can help you with certain advanced words to enhance your vocabulary. But if we are specifically talking about corporate communication, I think more than reading, um, audio visuals are my favorite when it comes to learning new words or remembering new words, because they stay with you for a longer time, and it flashes in your mind when you are trying to look for words to build a sentence. So I like the audio visuals better. Reading definitely helps with building new words, or adding new words to your vocabulary, but practicing and audio visuals are definitely going to be my favorites.
Okay, I have an addition to it. When you learn with someone, when you start speaking yourself, you explore a lot of things. Let's suppose you want to say something and you don't know the actual way of speaking that in professional English, then you research. That research helps you to retain the new word and you carry on with your progress, right?
Absolutely, yes.
I think it's time for a quick activity with our learners. I want to see the happiness in the chat section and a lot of messages up. You just told us that when it comes to spoken English, you say something. When it comes to professional English, you do say something, but not in a way which is not appealing or which is not direct. You have to be clear with the idea, right approach, and be respectful to other. So how about we give a situation to our learners and let's see how would they professionally react to that. What do
Absolutely,
you
that
say?
sounds pretty interesting.
Now that you have taught them and it's time for us to take test, I want you to incorporate one statement and let's see how do they answer.
Sure, absolutely. So let me ask this, okay? What if somebody, you want to get on a call with someone, right? And you have to reach out to them to ask whether you both can get on a call. How is it that you are going to ask this in a professional manner?
Okay.
I would
Let's
want to
do
look
one
at the
thing. We
chat
have also
box.
pinned this up in the chat box in case they forget
Uh
what you
huh.
have just said. They can check it out. It's there. Think of. Miss Mopria just asked you if you want to get on a quick call with someone, how would you say? Remember, sometimes Miss Mopria, we get questions. Maybe have a quick call? Question mark.
Yes. Yes. No context, but just maybe have a quick call. And I'm
Yeah.
wondering, what is it about?
Yeah. Do I need to prepare something? Did I do
Yes.
something wrong that the person is saying quick call?
Right.
There's
Especially
a
when
lot
it,
of.
imagine this coming from a team leader, to a team member. Let's get on a
Oh,
quick call without any context. And people are thinking, oh my God, what have I done wrong? Have I done something today? Did I do something in my last project? What's going on?
yes. You can just do one thing, wait for the call.
Yes.
Right. And
And
count
pray
on
and pray. Yeah.
that maybe things will. Okay.
Yes.
Learn English with Rakesh says, are you free now? Okay. Just take it. I want you to reveal the answer later. Okay.
Yes, yes. We'll go through a few answers here.
Yeah. Manmohan has also written something. Would you like to address?
Would you be available for a brief call to discuss? Okay, that's good. Something at your earliest convenience. Oh, I really like that. Some good words there.
Yeah. Hey there, how have you been? May I know your name? Weber. Well, Weber, we are asking for a call. You don't have to ask for names.
Yes.
Okay.
Could you have sometime? Sachin says, could you have a sometime? I think there is a typographical
Yeah.
error there.
Yes. Could you have some time again? Okay, this is something which can put learner or put the other person on tight spot. What did I do?
Correct. Uh huh.
Yes, I do have some time, but why are you asking for time?
Right. Okay. Chandan is
Please,
asking, is English mandatory in corporate sector? That's a very interesting question.
please go ahead.
Okay, so honestly, English, I would say at this point, we are in 2024. English is definitely very important because none of the teams, like even if it is not an international or multinational organization, none of the teams nowadays are confined to one geographical region. Like even if it is just India, we would still have people from different states working in that organization, and most companies are globally present, right? So there would be someone from China who is their client, someone from Canada, someone from UK, and of course different parts of India. And India itself has got so many different languages, right? Every
Yes.
state has a different language. So when it comes to, working together and bringing out positive results, it is very important to communicate clearly and effectively, the thing that, we started the session with. And for that, there has to be a common language. And hence, English is the global language, which is very important when you are, trying to not only get into corporates. I would say nowadays 80% of the workforce needs to know English.
Yes. And according to recent census, if you're good at communication, it helps you in getting salary hike up to 33%
Of
just because of
course.
your conversation. So I think there's no
Yes.
debate about it. Meanwhile,
Of
we have
course.
so many answers in the chat box. I'm just spelled. Seema Sharma says, this time is okay for you to have a conversation. Okay. Radha Krishna says, could you please give little bit of time? Okay. Shalini Mishra says, I'm little late. Oh, no issues, Shalini. The session would be recorded and it would be up there on YouTube. You can check out later. Learn English with Rakesh says, may I get some time of yours now? Okay. People are asking
Okay.
for time. Could we have a
Right.
small talk if you spare some time for it? Redu says, Prashant, would you like to have some time? We are discussing something. Okay.
Okay.
Manmohan is right. Shweta says, hey there, is this a good time to talk? And I think majorly people are asking in the same way. Now it's time for
Right.
you to actually tell them what's the right response.
Okay, I see some answers here. I see this is Viran. Viran is asking, are you available for a quick call to discuss about certain topic? So I'm sure he's saying certain topic in regards to, the topic that we are referring to at this point.
Otherwise, it would be
Um,
difficult. Certain
yes,
topic.
yes. Then I see Priyanka had written something. Um, can we hop on a call to talk about? Okay. Um, all right. So I think, hop on a call to talk about is okay if we are talking to a colleague with whom we have a very good rapport.
Good bond.
But
Yeah.
yes, however, if it is in general, like on a group chat or something, like on an email, especially on emails, right? It has to be a little more professional. So a good way to say would be like, if I have to say ask somebody for some time, I would say, hey Shruti, I wanted to discuss about tomorrow's meeting. So could you let me know a convenient time when we could get on a call or when we could connect? Right? So I
Yes.
mention the subject. I also mention at your convenience, which means I am giving that importance to the other person also, and I'm not taking it for granted that, okay, Shruti is free for me, right?
Absolutely. Secondly, as there was a message already, so I have a strong conviction. Okay, I haven't done anything wrong. She just want to discuss on maybe through a discussion we can reach up to a better right level. So
Correct.
that is the case. Otherwise, I remember sometimes it happens, and even to leaders or the group members, if you're a team leader, please ensure that you're giving clear commitments and you're giving clear idea to your colleagues or your team members, otherwise it can be nerve wracking.
Absolutely. Yeah.
You'll take a lot of time in thinking or maybe overthinking these days.
Overthinking, yes, yes. And whenever people, like employees at work, are overthinking about these things, it brings down their productivity. So
For
that is
sure.
something which is very important for team leaders or people in, in the spot where they are managing people. They should keep it in mind, like, leaders, anyone in leadership, that
Yes.
anything they say, it has to be very clear, otherwise it can bring down their productivity.
Yeah. I think Shalini has a really interesting question and I would like you to address it. She says that, ma'am, if I have to say that your voice is not coming, is it all right to say that your voice is breaking? S- Now that we are discussing about corporate communication, I must tell all the learners and you as well, as the whole world is switching over to remote work and you have to go with a lot of FaceTime, your online meetings. Sometimes you end up saying stupid things out of reaction. Hey, your voice is breaking. You're not hearable.
Ah, right.
Right.
Cracking.
Mm, yes, many a times. Your voice is cracking. See, it's not an object. You have to understand. Okay, let us ask them first. Let's suppose you're
Yes.
not able to hear somebody in the meeting. How would you say? And then Miss Mokria would address in a corporate way, in fully sophisticated manner. See, okay. Prashant says, ma'am, I think pronunciation is also important in advanced communication. Is that right?
I would agree 100% to that sentence, and I would say it is important in any communication, not just advance.
Yes, because good pronunciation will help you become advanced speaker.
Absolutely.
Interlink.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, we have one answer. So
I'm not
movie
getting
five.
you.
Yeah, I'm not getting you. Okay. Shalini says, ma'am, please make next on overuse sentences. Sure, we will do it. Thank you for letting us know. Okay, great. Now it's time for you to answer, Miss Mopria. There are many things that we end up saying out of rush. What should we
Right.
not say?
Okay, we definitely should not say your voice is breaking, your voice is cracking, your voice is what was that? Unhearable,
Here, your voice is not hearable.
not hearable. Yes, no, we are not saying all of that. We can either say, hey, you are not audible, or hey, I can't hear you properly, or you can say your voice is crackling.
Crackling, yeah. They
Yes,
wanted to say this, but they end up saying cracking.
cracking. Yeah.
Yeah. And what about that? Your voice is coming again. Instead of saying your voice is
Yes,
echoing, your voice is coming
echoing.
again. There are many things. So these are also part of
Yes,
corporate communication. You must know these etiquettes. Oh, we
correct.
have a lot of answers. Speak with Priyanka says, I can't hear you properly. Is that right?
That's good. Yes, you can say that.
Vaibhav says, excuse me, I'm unable to hear you or you're not audible.
Okay.
Okay.
Seema also
Uh,
says you're not audible.
yeah.
Um,
Ridhan has a different take. He says, hey, I cannot read you loudly.
uh,
Is it right?
I
Maybe he
cannot read
wanted
you
to hear, I
loudly. He
cannot
wanted to, yeah,
write something else, but loudly is again not a right way
not a
of
right
saying.
word. You can say clearly. You can't say
Hmm.
loudly.
Yeah. Manmohan says, apologies. Would you mind adjusting your microphone or speaking closer to it? Your voice isn't coming through clearly. Okay.
Okay,
Quite
I
an
would say
organized one.
yes. It's very well explained and quite elaborated. If you want, you can
Hmm.
just shorten it a little bit. That would work.
Yes, because we are not writing it down to someone. We have to just say on spot. So if you say
Right,
everything in detail, we would say he speak a lot.
right.
That's the case. Mohit says your voice is buzzing. Is it right? Buzzing,
Buzzing.
sorry.
Buzzing is not the right word for this situation, so we would stay away from that.
Rahul says your voice is lagging. Hmm.
Lagging.
Lagging is
Yeah.
a completely
Lag.
different thing where you're
Yes,
not able to
lagging is
hear
different.
clearly, and that too at one go. So
Correct.
here we are asking if you're not able to hear at all, what would you say then?
Correct.
Yeah. Oh, Shalini says, I heard a lot of people they speak, your voice is jaggering. Jaggering.
I have, to be honest,
I
that's a new
haven't.
word for me. I haven't heard that word.
Yeah. It's better you say something which is really nice and people are able to understand. Else
Right.
would be difficult, right?
Correct. Yes.
Rahul says, could you speak up a little? Acceptable.
Yeah, that's good. Okay.
Can be taken. What do you say?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, all right. Now it's time for me to introduce another situation. We got little off track. Now it's time to be back.
Yes.
Okay. Miss Popria, I remember when I was working, at times people, especially when you are a new joinee, they take charge of you and they feel that, oh, this person is good for everything. Let's give every work to this person.
Tell
Right?
me about it.
Yeah. We all have faced, in case you, every one of you, if you've ever been into a work life and when you start, you are flooded with a lot of work. And at times you're given a lot of tasks which does not even resonate with your expertise. So
Absolutely.
in that situation, when you're, let's suppose I am a writer and someone ask me to edit the videos, write the text, or maybe talk to other clients and do everything which does not resonate with my expertise, how would I say this? That, hey, this is not my job. So, dear learners, you have to give a professional way of saying. This reminds me of Shark
Yes.
Tank. And there's a shark who says that, hey, this is not my expertise, I'm out of it.
Oh, yes. Correct.
So, how would people say? Let's guess.
Right. Yes. Had it been the real world, I would have loved to given that answer. This is not my expertise. I am out. But yeah, we definitely can't do that when we are in our workspace. So let's see what our learners have to say.
Oh, Learn English with Rakesh said that we missed his comment. I'm sorry, Rakesh, as people are
Oh,
writing, it's difficult for us. Please rewrite, and we will like to address your query as well. And here we have also pinned it up. Let's suppose someone give you a lot of tasks which does not resonate with your expertise. How would you say this is not my job professionally? There are many ways to say it in different ways. Out of frustration, you end up saying, hey, this is not my job. But you cannot say it to your seniors, maybe.
correct.
So it's time for learners to guess.
Correct. I am waiting for some answers. I think Vikash has answered the previous question about the microphone.
Yes. Would you mind
Wow.
coming close to the microphone?
Priyanka
So,
says it's not my cup of tea.
okay, fully idiomatic. I believe Miss
Yeah,
Moupriya, our learners love idioms. The moment we come with
I
idioms
know.
and phrases, they're just there on
Yes.
it.
Seema has the same answer. But Ridan says, I'm afraid to say that this is out of my context. What do you say, Miss Shruti?
Quite an organized one. Impressed.
Just that
This
I
is
think
not.
the context needs to be replaced with some other word.
Yes. Then we have Movify saying, I have enough project already. Okay, he's saying that when you are flooded with a lot of work, and then, but just give a second thought. Let's suppose your boss is standing on your table,
Right.
and would you say, I have a lot of project already, boss? Just think of, and I think you'll be able to find another answer to this question.
Okay, Manmohan has an answer here. Thank you for the opportunity. However, after careful consideration, I believe this role requires expertise outside of my current skill set. I love that answer.
Yeah, but it gives me a lot of feeling that I have to write formally to someone in an email.
Ah, right. That's true.
Manmohan, if possible, try to chop it down, else it's right. Shalini says, this is not my context. Okay. Vaibhav says, sorry, I'm immersed in some other important work. Again,
Wow.
Vaibhav, give it a second thought. Other important work? In office, every work is an important work, isn't it, Miss Apriya?
Yes, absolutely.
Hmm. Okay. Sachin says, clarify for to me. Lovely says, sorry, it is out of my expertise. Mukul says, this job does not belong to me. I think people love not my cup of tea a lot. They're writing it over and over again.
So, how
Priyanka
would you
has an
want to
answer.
answer it? Oh, Chandan has an answer. Okay.
Yeah, here we have Priyanka as well saying, I appreciate the opportunity, but these tasks aren't within my expertise. Okay, they're really right, but to an extent, you have to again focus on what Miss Moupriya started with clarity, right? And again, you cannot say anything which is uh, abrupt or which is blunt. Be careful
True.
with it. So there can be many ways. First of all, understand and let the other person feel that you're not capable of it. Capable in the sense means you may do it, but maybe you'll not be able to do it to a level where they need it. So you can say, I believe this task falls outside the scope of my responsibilities, in case you want to say. And I forgot the name of the learner, but the learner write it in a better way that I'm afraid this assignment does not align with my current role.
Yes.
Right? Then
Correct.
you can there can be other ways. I think this responsibility may belong to other department. Let's suppose, as I gave you example, if I'm a writer, someone is asking me to edit a video. I'm not a video editor. That time what would I do? Right? So such
Right.
things needs to be taken care of. Else I think all the
Absolutely.
learners were pretty active.
Yes, they were. I really liked how they flooded the chat box with so many comments and answers.
Yes, exactly. One more thing, as we are thinking of, Manmohan especially gave me a thought. At times, writing chats or writing emails is completely different from speaking. But do you think in corporate world, writing is equally important? That you have to be mindful of what you're writing, or ChatGPT works?
100% writing is very important because although you can say that okay, I can save a lot of time and chat gpt can write an email for me, but if you really look at that email, you would see that it's very generic and it's very robotic, to be honest, right?
Yeah.
So it becomes very important to understand the basics of writing a professional email, or even I would say it's very important to know the right way to communicate on your office chat groups, right? There are different chat mediums that are used internally in office. We all must remember they are not WhatsApp chats, right? So
Yes. Where you can use emojis, a lot of abbreviations.
correct. Yes, yes. So that is again something very important. Writing an email in the correct manner, like following the format, having a clear subject line, doing the right kind of salutation, the right kind of sign off, having a signature. All of these things become very important when it comes to corporate written communications. And most important part of it is emails, because we send out emails to, I think, almost every stakeholder, right? So that
Yes.
becomes very important.
hmm Though in today's session, it's time to wrap up, and here we have to say a lot of things to you. First of all, appreciating a lot of learners, the kind of enthusiasm, the kind of activism you've
Right.
shown up here. The question was from our side, and you were ready with answers within a jiffy. So, thank you so much for that. Though Miss Mopria has told you a lot of insiders, be mindful of what you're saying, how are you saying, your answer is clear or not. Because sometimes you say, hey, I have a question, and then you wait for other person to say what's the question. It's not a WhatsApp chat that you're having a conversation with your friend. It's better you say, I have a question, then you mention this question. Whenever the other person would get time, would answer your question. Why to leave
Correct.
them into again gray area? Okay, let him say first what's the question, only then I'll give the answer.
Yes.
That is the thing. But need not to worry. Tutors like Mopria and so many other tutors are here for us. They're going to make you market ready. Not just corporate communication helps you in your daily life, at your workspace, your meetings, but also to crack your interview, to land in that dream job, you have to have this language of professionalism. So, need not to worry anyone. We are here. So, whenever you have any problem in writing, speaking, we are just here for you to teach you. And the best thing is, here, as it's weekend, we have the weekend sale live up here for you, where you can avail up to 45% discount or live one-off-one session with these amazing tutors. because fluency is guaranteed with us. That for sure I can say. What do you say, Miss Moupriya?
Absolutely, absolutely. And each one of them can do it. Like I always keep telling them, they have a lot of self-doubt that will I be able to do it? I said if
Oh,
100 and 100 other people are being able to do it, you are also 100% capable of doing it. So yes, go
true
for it.
that. Yeah, and we are not teaching you in a mundane way that, hey, this is a rule, grab it up. No. But it's time for you to grab this best deal because the offer is valid just by 11:59 p.m. tonight. So before it expires, avail the discount. 45% up there and enjoy the live one-on-one session with expert tutors. Right. And as I said, that we are going to bring free session and free course for them right up at 31st March. So just be with us and enjoy. Let your language skills soar completely. And here is a time, Mokpriya, where we have to reveal the secret. We have to name some of, I think, top three learners who were exceptionally well by giving their answers. I'll name one, then you can go with it. Okay? I can be biased. Let's
Sure.
see. There was one answer, one person who was really active, and I think he's been active from 3, 4 live sessions, and the person is Manmohan. So first free session goes to Manmohan. You're the winner of our live session.
Amazing. Congratulations, Manmohan.
Yes, and now it's your turn. I want you to name one more learner.
Okay, so another learner that I saw was very active and had some very nice answers. I would say it's Speak with Priyanka Kataria. She came up with a
Oh,
lot of inputs.
wow. Congratulations, Priyanka. Now, as we could just see or read out the comments, now we'll be able to see you live 101 in our sessions
Ah,
and help you improve personally. Right? Okay, here comes the third one. It's a tricky one. The third one goes to Vikas Chabra for at least trying to answer. It doesn't matter whether you're always right or wrong. Your efforts matter. So, in appreciation to all your efforts, here we have our top three learners.
amazing.
Congratulations to Manmohan. Then speak with Priyanka Kataria and Vikas Chabra for winning the free session at EnglishYaari.
Great job, guys,
Great.
all of you. And I would like to, congratulate everybody who has been a part of this and, flooded with, answers and their participation. Very, very good job done, everyone.
Yes, and to all the winners, yes, enjoy the celebration. All you have to do is we have pinned the WhatsApp number in the chat section. You just have to write, "We are the winner of the live session," and you will get the free live session here. And to all those who couldn't, and first of all, we apologize. There were so many learners. We cannot give to everyone, but you can take this deal. Just at rupees 99, you can book your demo session with us. It's as cheap as chips, right? Enjoy it and till then, take care, enjoy what we just taught, absorb it, learn it, practice, and we'll see you in our next session. Thank you so much, Miss Moupriya, for coming live with us. It was amazing
Thank
having you
you.
here.
Thank
A
you,
lot of
Shruti. I
brilliant.
loved it. I really enjoyed the entire session, the interaction with you, and of course, with our dear learners. I really had a great time.
Yes, all right. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining us from different parts of the country. And with the hope that we'll see you super soon, wish you all the best for your journey and have a good night.
All right. Good night, everybody. Bye.
Bye bye.